elders, the belongings to my elder, Aharawan Banyasharal of the Lions Den Camp, located here in Jacksonville, Florida. Also, salutations to the sincere Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm Nakar Harab Banyasharala, coming out of the Lions Den Camp of Yasharala, located here in Jacksonville, Florida. Coming out of the lesson, and the title of this lesson is "You Get Out What You Put In." O thou bloody man. And we already know that this devil has sowed much wickedness around the four corners of the earth, such as death, bloodshed, murder, robbing, and so much other things, spiritual immorality, giving Jake a wine, i.e. Pagan philosophies, beliefs, and doctrines. And also, again, just straight up outright committing wickedness and killing our people because of hatred in his heart. Well, guess what? You're going to get that back. This devil is going to get that back. And we see it happening slowly but surely before our very eyes. And guess what? This devil is catching wind of it, and he does not like it. But you get out what you put in. So without further ado, let's get right into it. This is like your second Esdras, chapter 15. I'm going to start at verse 20. It says, "Behold, saith Yahweh, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Lebanus, to turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that they have done to them." And the Lord is gonna, and that's what the Lord is gonna do. If I'm not mistaken, Joel in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. As a matter of fact, let's just get our references. Let's just get right here. Joel chapter 3, verse 2. It says, "I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the Valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land." So the Lord is going to gather all these kings, all the leaders of these nations around the four corners of the earth, from everywhere. It says what? From the rising of the sun, from the south to the east. So like if from the south, from the east, and Lebanus and beyond, to turn themselves one against another. So not only is the Lord going to take these other nations and turn them against each other and make them fight, as he's doing right now before our very eyes, he's going to repay them for the things that they have done to his chosen, his people. Continuing, verse 21. Like as they have done, it's like as they do yet to this day unto my chosen, so will I do also, and recompense them in their bosom. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh power. So just like they do to this day, the Lord is going to do the same things to them. He's going to recompense these other nations, and especially the bloody man in particular. He's going to do the exact same things to them. The same thing, but they put us in hardcore bondage. They killed our people. They ravished our women. They killed the babies. They did everything. Guess what? The Lord is going to do those exact same things to these other nations, and especially the bloody man. He's going to make these other nations reverence him and respect him and honor him and uphold his law, statutes, and commandments. And guess what? And the Heavenly Father is going to use his people to do it. Real quick, I ain't got that wrote down either, but I'm gonna find it real fast. This is Jeremiah 51, verse 20. It says, "Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms." So the Lord is going to use us, his people, his chosen, to break these other nations like dishes. Break in pieces nations and kingdoms. Destroy their rulership. Take them down out of power. Because we've seen with our own very eyes that they're not fit to be in positions of authority because they don't know how to act. So they're going to get out what they put in, especially the bloody man. It was another one that I was looking for, but whatever, it's fine. Let's continue. Verse 22, back at 2nd Esdras chapter 15. It says, my right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. So the Lord's right hand is not going to spare these sinners, those that transgressed against his law, statutes, commandments, those that just outright transgressed against him, like the bloody man and his constituents, coming against the children of Israel, coming against the law, statutes, commandments. The Lord said his sword is not going to spare them, meaning the Lord is going to come down on them with great wrath, especially this bloody man. His sword shall not cease over them, meaning the Lord ain't going to stop. Once he start breaking them like dishes, he going to keep breaking them like dishes until they get the point. But, of course, when it comes down to these other nations, the constituents of the bloody man, they're going to, after so long, their punishment going to be over. But the bloody man himself, the one that has shed the innocent blood of people, the Lord's sword ain't going to cease over him. Because this devil is still the one shedding innocent blood around the four corners of the earth. Look at what's going on over there in the east as we speak. Continuing. Verse 23. It says, the fire is going forth from his wrath, and have consumed the foundations of the earth, and the sinners like the straw that is kindled. And what that fire going to be? That fire going to be the ICBM missiles. That besom of destruction that's going to hit mainly Babylon, America, but there will be other places such as those 48 fakers over there in our land. They're going to get burnt up out of there too. The Lord going to burn that up too. It is what it is. The Lord going to clean up the earth, and he's going to cleanse it of wickedness and heathendom. He's going to clean up all the pagan satanic beliefs, the false gods and everything. But when the Lord brings his judgment, the sinners, they're going to burn like straw in a fire. They're going to consume away quickly. Let's continue. Let's jump to verse 56. Because all these nations have had a hand, a finger, a foot, a toe, a whole arm, a leg, a head, a face, or whatever, in destroying our people. Again, verse 56 of 2nd Esdras chapter 15. It says, like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith the Lord Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, even so shall Yahweh do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. So just like these other nations have done, the Lord is going to do the same thing to them. They destroyed us, the Lord is going to destroy them. They oppressed us, the Lord is going to oppress them. They shed our blood, the Lord is going to shed their blood. You get out what you put in. Because we are the chosen ones of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. And the Lord is going to deliver them into mischief. He's going to let things happen. And he's going to use his people, Jeremiah 51, to break them like dishes. Let's continue. Verse 57. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. And that's plainly stated. Their children are going to die of hunger, of pestilences. They're going to die of the sword. They're going to be getting killed. Sorry, it is what it is. Algorithm or not, as thus saith the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. The Lord is going to help them finish with their living. Their children are going to be plagued. They themselves are going to be plagued with all kind of manner of pestilences and the sword. They are going to what? Fall by the sword. They're going to perish in the field. Whatever they're doing, the Lord is going to take them down. Verse 58. They that be in the mountains shall die of hunger, and they that eat their own flesh, and drink their own blood, for very hunger of bread and thirst of water. And this is going to happen right here in Babylon. Look at what's going on in North Carolina right now. The ones that they in the mountains, they ain't getting no help. What you think is going to start happening? They that be in the mountains, what? Again, shall die of hunger. They're going to eat their own flesh. They're going to be eating themselves and their children and relatives and friends and all of that. Spouses and everything. They're going to drink their own blood for very hunger and for bread and thirst of water. The Lord finna turn cannibalism on these other heathen nations. It's finna be all hell breaking loose on these other heathen nations. And especially the bloody man. And we all know who the bloody man is. We know what his name is and everything. But let's continue. Verse 59. Thou as unhappy shalt come through the sea and receive plagues again. So these other nations, and especially this bloody man, is going to be unhappy. They're going to receive of the plagues that the Lord spoke about in the scriptures. And guess what? This will be a just desert for this devil and his constituents, i.e. the other nations, because of what they've done to the children of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the speckled birds. Those that may not look like a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American, but are like I say, born of the other nations, or born around them, or born among them. It's like you. May talk like them, walk like them, but they don't act like them. So why? Because their bloodline goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's not really a color thing. Jacob looked like everybody because the Lord scattered us around the four corners of the earth. So you get out what you put in, and these other nations are finna get ready to catch it. But mainly, this devil, that bloody man, these are the things that are going to happen to him as well. Let's continue. Obadiah. Verse 10. It says, "For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever." So guess what? For their violence, for Edom's, the bloody man's violence against his brother Jacob, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Israelites, the true Israelites, it says shame shall cover them. And what happened? Shame is covering them. That's why they've taken slavery, or have tried to take the things of slavery out of their curriculum and or textbooks, because they're ashamed of what they've done to the children of Israel, so they want to try and hide it. Like they say, the critical race theory, no. They're taking that out of school because it's making children hate. No. That's shame upon this bloody man. And for that, guess what? He's going to be cut off forever. Let's continue. Verse 11. It says, "In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captivity, his forces and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was one of them." 70 AD, just to give you an understanding. And many other happenings before 70 AD, but 70 AD is the main staple. Who was right there? The bloody man was right there the whole time when these other nations ransacked Jerusalem, and Jacob was running and leaving up out of there, running to the west coasts of Africa and stuff like that, and other places. This bloody man was right there with these heathen nations coming against our people. Let's continue. Verse 12. "But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother, in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress." So guess what? When it came time for our people to be punished and took down by the Heavenly Father for disobedience, the Lord said, you shouldn't have been one to look at. You shouldn't have been one of those who was right there further in the punishment. When the Lord, when say again, relax, like you. Come on, kind of a little bit excited. Again, it says, "But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger." So guess what? You bloody man, you was there when the Lord was kicking Jacob out the land for being what? For transgression, for doing wickedly in the sight of the Lord. You was there. You shouldn't have been one that was looking on them and talking about, yeah, look at them and furthering our oppression. You shouldn't have been one to be a part of that. That's what the Lord is saying. You shouldn't have been one. You shouldn't have been one to rejoice over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. You shouldn't have rejoiced at our downfall, devil, but you did. You shouldn't have been one that spoke proudly against our people in the time of distress, but you did. This thus saith the Lord. This is thus saith Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shah, not thus saith man. Verse 13. "Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity." So devil, bloody man, you should not have entered into the gates of the people. You should not have entered into the land of Jerusalem. You should not have done that. You should not have even been in Israel for that at that point, at the time of our people calamity. You should not have looked upon our people's affliction. our downfall, our low estate, like you're doing right now. You should not have been one of those who have done that, but you was. You shouldn't have laid hands on our people's substance in the day of their calamity. But you did. So what you think is finna happen? You're gonna have to get that back. The Lord want to be paid in full, and He gonna get it, whether you want to give it or not. Bloody man. Verse 14. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those that did remain in the day of distress. So when our people were running and trying to escape the calamity, trying to escape the judgment of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, the Lord said, you shouldn't even been the one that stood in the crossway, that stood in the paths to keep our people from escaping. You shouldn't have been one that caught and put our people in captivity and delivered them up to those other nations that were ransacking our people at the time. You should not have been one of those. But you was. You should not have oppressed our people, but you did. So you get out what you put in, oh bloody man. Verse 15. For the day of the Lord Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. Plain and simple. The day of the Lord Yahweh is near. It is very near. Look at the things that we see happening around the four corners of the earth. And it's upon all the heathen, because all you heathens had a hand on the children of Israel. As a matter of fact, let's go to Psalms 82. Or 83. Let me see. Psalms 83. I'm going to just start at the top. It says Psalms 83, 1 and 1. Keep not silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace. And be not still, O Yahweh. So this is a Psalm of David. This is the Lord. This was David praying to the Lord, what? To take down the enemy. Verse 2, it says, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. So our enemies made a tumult against us. And those that hated the Lord, what? They lift up the head. They became prideful against Yahweh Hashem Yahshua and his people. Verse 3, it says they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. So these other nations have taken crafty counsel against the children of Israel and consulted against the hidden ones, which again are the children of Israel. Verse 4, it says, they have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So they came together, they consorted together, they came together on one accord to cut us off from being a nation, that our name will be no more remembrance in the earth. Verse 5, for they consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal, Ammon, and Amalek. That's Edom 2 times right there. The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined. So like Ashur also is joined with them. They have hold pinned the children of Lot. So you other nations, you Chinese, you Japanese, what else? You so-called Africans, i.e. you Hamites, you South Sudanese, you Ishmaelites, you Arabs, you Iranians, and Persians. All of y'all have consorted together against the Lord's people. Y'all have hold pinned the children of Lot. Y'all all had us in some kind of bondage at one time. But of course, you know, it was the judgment of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, but you still effed up. You shouldn't have did it. You effed up. So guess what? Back at Obadiah verse 16. It's like here. Verse 15. For the day of the Lord Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. So just like you did to the children of Israel, it's going to happen to you. You smashed our peoples like cookies, the Lord going to smash you like cookies. And guess what the Lord gonna do? He gonna use his people to do it. Let's continue. Verse 16. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down. And they shall be as though they had not been. So, as you other heathen nations, and thou, O bloody man, hast drunk upon the holy mountain, the children of Israel, so shall all the heathen drink continually. The same wrath that's coming on y'all tenfold. You're going to drink continually. And it says, yeah, you're going to drink and you're going to swallow down. It's going to be just like y'all ain't never, ever existed. You know, especially the bloody man. See, these other nations, they're going to get broke. They're going to get whooped. They're going to catch hell. But then they punishment ain't going to be over. And they're going to be able to go on about their business. I.e., they're going to get put in specific places. And guess what? They're going to get broke like this is when they don't want to follow the law, such as commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But as for one, the bloody man, you know, also known as Edom, you're going to drink down judgment, and it's going to be swallowed down. It's going to be like you ain't never ever even existed on the earth. Let's continue. Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 10. It says, thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. And this bloody man has done that. He has consulted shame against his house. He's brought shame to his face, or his nation, if you want to use those words, or that word I should say, by cutting off many people, killing not only the children of Israel, but these other nations. They're cutting off what? Many people have sinned against his own. So this devil has sinned against himself. It's too much blood. It's too much blood shed in the earth from this devil. Let's continue. It says, for the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the temple shall answer it. Meaning, this devil has put up monuments and set up parks and all these things, I should say, Salakia, to show his violence against the children of Israel, against taking things from other people, monuments, all kind of things. That's what it means by for what the stone shall cry out of the wall. Put our people in hardcore bondage, beat our people to death, just to get this place, this altar built up so the Lord can destroy it. Our people have put blood, sweat, and tears into this place. Verse 12, it says, woe to him that buildeth a city, like he built a town with blood, and established a city by iniquity. Woe means judgment and destruction. We know that. To him what that buildeth a town with blood. How was this place built up? How did this devil, this bloody man, get the things that he got around the four corners of the earth? With the sword. Swords shed blood. And this devil, this bloody man, has not lacked in spilling any blood around the four corners of the earth. But it says, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood. He built this place with blood. The blood of who? The blood of the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American. This place has been established by iniquity, spiritual immorality, things that are against Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. I'm going to jump down to verse 15. It says, woe to him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. So this devil has given our people drink, philosophies, beliefs, and doctrines that are not of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua, that are pagan and man-made. It says, woe to that man that does this thing. This devil has gotten our people drunk off the Babylon juice, and they still drunk off for it. Look at what they celebrate. Look at all this tomfoolery that they're a part of in this nation. Well, this corporation, whatever. Just why? Just so this people can say, look at your people, look, they going off. Look at them, yeah. That's why this devil did that. And it was like to get the blessing back. It wasn't never ever his, because if it was really truly his, it would have never ever been taken from him. It was always supposed to be Jacob's. The Lord knew that. So this devil is really killing our people out of jealousy, hate, and anger. You can't get something back that was never ever yours to begin with. But let's continue the point. Verse 16 of Habakkuk chapter 2. It says, thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. So there you go. This devil is filled with shame. Most definitely filled with shame for glory. This devil has done a lot of sneaky, underhand, backdoor things. And now that it is being exposed, he is filled with shame for that glory. The Lord is exposing this devil. He's exposing the foreskin, lifting up the skirt of this place, pulling back the curtain on this bloody man to show the world how he operates. And it says, and the cup of the heavenly Father's Yahweh right hand, which is his judgment, shall be turned onto this bloody man. And shame, he said, what? Turn unto this bloody man, and shameful spewing is on his glory. These other nations ain't with this devil like they once were, but they still gonna get broke like dishes though. But this bloody man gonna really get it the worst, because he's done the most. Let's continue. Nahum chapter 3 verse 4. It says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, the Lord of armies. Yahweh he's the God of armies. It says, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. So because of the whoredoms of this well-favored harlot, Babylon, America, the mistress of witchcrafts, what you think going on over here? All kind of tomfoolery and witchcraft, with their pagan satanic celebrations and days that they set aside to celebrate, which is ritualistic. Why? Because they do it yearly or annually. That's ritualistic. Or rituals, which is also what? Wicked, because you ain't serving Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. You ain't setting these days aside for the Lord. So guess what? It's witchcraft. This place is what? Has sold our people. This devil has used this place to sell other nations too. But they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about how they sold the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, broke up the families, brought our people over here in chains. What? Through her witchcrafts. But now the Lord says, what? I'm against you. I ain't for you. The Lord says he's going to discover what? Thy skirts upon thy face. The Lord is going to show the world and these kingdoms the nakedness and the shame of this place, the things that really go on, and how this place really functions and operates, and how it really gets down. And in that, the Lord says he's going to cast abominable filth upon this place, these devils, this bloody man, and make him vile. Going back to Obadiah, thou art greatly despised, roughly paraphrasing. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get it. It ain't that far away. Obadiah, verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. And this devil is despised. Verse 6. Yet again, and I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. So the Lord is going to cast abominable filth on this bloody man and his whole rulership, and it's going to make him vile and hate it. Something that's vile, you hate it. It's disgusting, it's nasty, it's abominable. And the Lord's going to set this place what? For a gazing stock. The butt of the joke. A laughing point. Let's continue. Ezekiel 25. Verse 12. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh power, because that Edom has dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and hath greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh power, I will stretch out mine hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. So you devils are going to catch it, man. You bloody man, you're going to catch it. Why? Because you have dealt treacherously against the children of Israel, the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom. You've revenged yourself. You've taken what? Vengeance. Something that is not even yours to even take. So the Lord said, what? He's going to stretch out his hand. And how is he going to stretch out his hand? He's going to stretch out his hand in wrath and anger and judgment. And he's going to cut off from Edom every man and beast from it. Ain't gonna be nothing left. He said, all y'all gonna fall by the sword. This is what you get out. This is what you get, bloody man. You get what you put in. Let's continue. Well, I already read it. I got it as a precept. Last point. Let's go to Galatians. That was Jeremiah 51 and 25. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get it anyway. Jeremiah 51. Oh no, I didn't. That was the other precept. Jeremiah 51 and 25. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord Yahweh, which destroyest all the earth. And I will stretch out mine hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain. So the Lord is going to stretch his hand out upon you, O bloody man. Destroying mountain, the destroying power that destroys all the earth. Look at the four corners of the earth and look at what's going on. Look at what's going on right now. Bloody, you bloody man, you got to catch it, buddy. You got to catch it. The Lord says he's going to stretch out his hand upon you and roll you down from the rocks and make you a burnt mountain, a destroyed power. And the Lord is going to use what? Fire to burn this place. And how is he going to use it? Weapons of indignation. ICBMs. Now let's go to my last point. Wait. I done passed it. It's locking. I done passed it. Galatians chapter 6, verse 7. Be not deceived. Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So don't be deceived, O bloody man. The Lord is not mocked. You can't pull the wool over his eyes. You can't poke fun at him. The Lord says, whatever you sow, you're going to reap it. You're going to get it back. So you get out what you put in. Shalom.